Great. Good morning. Oh. Yes. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning's service. Service will begin with the ringing of the conch shell.
Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda.
This morning's sutra chanting will be Vandana Tisarana, followed by Jusege.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Kie Butsu. Namo Kie Ho. Namo Kie So. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. 가곤 초세가 이시무조도 시가 흑만속 세후조쇼가 가오무료고 후이다이세슈 후사이쇼빙구 세후조쇼가 가시조분도 묘쇼조지포 극혐이쇼몬 세후조쇼각 리오크지쇼넨 조에슈번교 시그무조도 이쇼텐닌시 지리기엔다이코 후쇼무사이도 쇼조상금요 고사이슈야크난 가이히지에겐 메시콘모안 해석쇼아크도 스단젠 슈몬 고소조만석 이여러지포 니지감슈주기 텐콘부겐 이슈가이호소 고세그덕호 조다이슈주 세포시시그 그요이사이붓 그소크슈토크혼 간내신조만 버그이상가요 녀분무게지 드담미후쇼 간가그에릭 도시사이쇼손 시간야코가 다이세노칸도 고그쇼텐닌 도의친묘케 나만다부 나만다부 나만다 세이사이 돌혼보다이신 올저을 Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Please rise if you are comfortable doing so for the Gatha season of Obon, and then remain standing for the reading of the threefold refuge.
Summer moon and paper lanterns brightly light the way. People gathering, singing, dancing to the joy of life. Memories of past and present filter through the mind. Feed the heart and feed the mind and dance the dance of joy. Dragonflies and fanning breezes welcome us to dance. Hear the rhythm of the drumming, singing out the chants. Summer moon and paper lanterns brightly light the way. People gathering, singing, dancing to the joy of life. Memories of past and present filter through the mind. Feed the heart and feed the mind and dance the dance of joy. It's the season of Obon, a time to contemplate, release ourselves from greed and hunger, free from selfishness. Summer moon and paper lanterns brightly light the way. People gathering, singing, dancing to the joy of life. Memories of past and present filter through the mind. Feed the heart and feed the mind and dance the dance of joy. It's the season of Obon, a time to reunite. It's the season of Obon, a festival of life, a festival of life.
The threefold refuge. Difficult is it to receive a human form, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha, now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us with sincerity and true reverence take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together with all sentient beings, awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together with all sentient beings, enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together with all sentient beings, become units in true accord, in harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Naman Dabs, Naman Dabs, Naman Dabs, Naman Dabs. Please be seated. This morning's Dharma message will be given by Reverend Matt May.
Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Naman Dab, Naman Dab, Naman Dab, Naman Dab. Good morning. Happy summertime. This is the month where we get to have a Bonadori. And it's also the month where kind of all of the sports of the summer come together. So this year, this month is when the Euro and Copa America, a bunch of soccer tournaments are happening right now. And I was watching the game yesterday, and and one of the announcers was talking about the referee, and said about the referee, isn't it amazing that he can keep up at such a high level when he's 48 years old? I'm 49 years old, and my bones turned to dust when I heard that happen. Just immediately that feeling of advanced age occurred to me at this time, and the idea of aging is something that we have been hearing a lot about lately. It is something that is connected to Buddhism from the very beginning, right? That the Dharma gates, when Shakyamuni Buddha left his palace, the things that he saw were old age, sickness, and death. I mean, he saw people that were old, that were sick, and someone that had died. And so it's tied to everything that is Buddhist, right? The understanding in Buddhism is that these are things that will happen to all of us. And it's kind of amazing when you think back to that time period, because the lifespan of a lot of people there was actually very short. In the period in which Shinran Shonin lived, the average lifespan from birth of most people was 21 years old. It was just average, right? Because so many people died at a very young age. But that if you were to live to 15, then you probably got to live another 16 years. And this is, of course, all causes, because this is a time where there's a great amount of warfare. So you might have to go to to be a soldier for the shogun, or for a local militia, something like that. So your life was constantly at risk. And so it's actually fairly remarkable that someone like Shinran Shonin in that time period, for who he was, which for a lot of the time was almost an enemy of the state. Right? He was somebody that actually challenged the power structures, that he was able to live to be 90 years old. Shakyamuni Buddha, on the other hand, if he had not taken the path that he had taken, what would he be? He would be the king, right? He was the son of the king. He was told that he would either be a great ruler or he would follow the path that he followed. And so we have these two great teachers that were teachers for 50 to 60 years. Shinran Shonin was 29 when he left Mount Hiei and started teaching what is now known as Jodo Shinshu. So we have these phases of life that we go through where we are gaining in knowledge, if not wisdom, right? We are learning more, we're experiencing more as we go throughout our lives. And also, there comes a point where the text gets a little bit smaller, right? It starts to be a little more difficult. I don't know, I probably did about 3 Dharma talks about how close I was to getting reading glasses, and now I have them. Right. So this is a reality that our faculties start to leave us over a period of time, or we can experience some kind of injury or disability that affects our lives. And it is part of this that we understand that we're not above this, that this is a natural part of this. The very beginning of Buddhism tells us that this is for us as well. And so we see all the headlines about President Biden and his performance at the debate and all of these interviews. And I'm not going to make this a political thing because the IRS frowns on things like that. But I do want to talk about the idea of why we are so afraid of someone else's performance. We see someone that is of an advanced age that is doing all of this work, that is performing, and then we see that we too are going to lose our capacities as we age. Now, Buddhism isn't really great at teaching about democracy because it was actually founded more or less while democracy was happening somewhere else in the world, in Greece in the ancient periods. You were either a ruler or in the ruling class, or you were ruled. And so most Buddhist traditions come from one of those two perspectives. You were either in power or you weren't. So the idea of I have a 1/300 millionth chance or vote for who gets to lead us was not ever part of the equation. But that message of someone is losing their ability is something that we feel internally because we understand that that is something that is also happening to us. We have these, we see this, and at the same time we have people that are living today who believe they're going to try to live forever. That we're going to that we're going to transcend this impossibility, right? Like we're going to transcend this thing that we are destined to do. Eventually, that we are all going to die and continue to live in this world. And Buddhism teaches us completely the opposite of that. That our goal is to break out of this cycle. That we are preparing ourselves for the understanding that we are human, that we have these limitations, and that we need to focus on ourselves. Every time there is a funeral in Jodo Shinshu, what do we chant, or what do we hear the reading of? Right? We hear the reading of the white ashes. It's so rare for somebody to live to 100 years. Nobody can live 10,000 years. And we never know when that moment is going to happen. And it's a thing that we on the one hand fight because we're living and we love this thing that we have. But that fear itself is something that can manipulate us. And it's hard for us to internalize. And it's moments like coming to temple every week where we sometimes talk directly about this idea, but sometimes a little circuitously. But the fact is, you're human. And we almost need to be reminded of that on a weekly basis. We need to be reminded about this, and this is what Buddhism teaches us. And this isn't just within Jodo Shinshu. Jodo Shinshu is kind of known as funeral Buddhism. We have this that was the role that Jodo Shinshu ministers played in Japan. But this goes back to the very beginning. In fact, in the Dhammapada, Shakyamuni Buddha encounters the family of a butcher, and this butcher cared very little about the life that he took. And so he died a very ironic end, let's say. It's a little gross. I'm not going to get into the specific details of it. But his family goes to the Buddha trying to find solace because this person is obviously lost. They've gone into a different realm. And the Buddha tells them, now you are of advanced age, talking to the children, the family of the deceased. You are going to the presence of the King of Death, and you cannot stop on the way. Yet you have no provisions for the journey. Make a firm support for yourself. Hasten to strive hard and be wise. These people are suffering because they've lost the person that was the head of their family. And what does the Buddha say? Not, I'm going to protect this person for you. Don't worry about it. He says, worry about you. Right now, you're in the house that's on fire. The things that we need to learn that Buddhism is here to teach us are about how we are going to understand ourselves and our relationship to the people around us. And I think that that's a really important thing, especially going through middle age. You just starting to have those feelings of like losing a step or something. But to me, that is a part of the core of the teaching of Buddhism, and it is the thing that I am constantly coming back to think about as all of these debates kind of happen. So I wanted to share that with you and invite you to sort of think about that for yourselves. So with that, please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Matt, for your message. As someone who just had their birthday, it's given me a lot to think about as we get older. Please join me in Gassho for closing Nambutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namon Dabs, Namon Dabs, Namon Dabs. Does anyone have any announcements here for the Sangha members that are here in person or those that are joining us online?
Good morning. Reaching out to all of the Sangha members who are joining us via YouTube. Don't forget, Bonodori is coming up and we still need volunteers. So go to the Bonodori website on the Betsuin page and click the link. If you need some help, then please contact Irene in the office and she can get you signed up for as many shifts as you want. We're 2 weeks away. Thanks.
It's the Ron and Tyler Show. Just a reminder, next Sunday is our Hatsubon service. We're inviting all Hatsubon families, and so we're expecting a pretty large turnout, so we love you all. But for those of you that are not Hatsubon families, we ask you to join us online because we expect a crowd. And then also a reminder that we have Hatsubon Obon services at 5 separate cemeteries on Saturday and Sunday. The schedule was in the newsletter. I don't know if it's on the website, but especially if you have a family member at one of the cemeteries, you might want to join us. They're very nice services that Sensei does. So thank you.
While Sensei's not here today, I think he would be upset if I didn't mention new episodes of Mind of Minister will be coming out soon, both on Spotify and YouTube. we have reached kind of the limit of listener submitted questions. So if you have any questions or want to hear discussion from Sensei, please go online and submit questions so that we can discuss them. We just filmed our Obon episode yesterday. It's very exciting. So please stay tuned for more episodes of Mind of Minister. This will conclude this morning's online portion of the service. Thank you for those of you that are attending and seeing us online. As Tyler mentioned, please tune in next week for our Hatsubon service if you are not a Hatsubon family, or reach out to the temple office or website for more information about the services that are happening. Thank you.